I'd say like physicality in Canada is a lot higher up, and like usually, like if you're playing for like a crappy team in Canada, there's still going to be like those really good guys that could probably make it far, but they just don't really have much passion for hockey. They lost. They just want to continue and just have a lax rest of their career. So you see those really, really good players that could have made it far. That you're still getting knowledge from, but still coming down here, we have a few players that are really good. Both captains, assistant captains, we still see a lot of good players, but they still teach a lot of things to even me or even our freshmen. And I would also say it's just like the physicality is not as like up compared to Canada and everything like that. The US and Canada and everything. So I'd say, however, you're still gonna learn something from other players and everything like that. So you see a lot of hierarchy, the higher players still teaching the lower end players and everything throughout our team and everything that you don't really see in Canada as
Mhm.
much. Usually, I think IQ is more a prominent thing in Canada where you're kind of learning a lot of this stuff when you're growing up younger. It depends where you play. You see a lot of kids in the US, they don't learn some of that stuff. Depends if you want to put in a lot of money playing AAA or even higher up and stuff like that. So I'd say that's the two different things. Yeah.
I would say in terms of adjustment, it's like any situation you get in, it's all about adapting. So my senior year, I played like on a club team. We did tryouts and everything, and I spent the whole year with the team. And you just kind of get used to it. You get used to the systems, get used to the players, your line mates, your goalie. You get used to everything out there. That's one way that you go into it and you adapt. And you spend enough time, and that's where you build the chemistry and like anything. And what I learned was when I came to OSU, like I knew I was like, wow, some of these players like really good, and that's something that I need to adapt to. And I would say that when someone's really good, you want to do the things that they're doing to adapt and get to their level. And it's just making that transition and just getting used to the environment you're playing in. Like I would say my first Acha game,
Three,
my
4 points or something like that.
I that's how it started, but going from there, I just remember my you mentioned Josie. She came to one of my games one time when we played Nebraska, and she came to one of our games. It was like the first series we had in Nebraska, and she said that was the most violent game of hockey I've ever watched. I was like, "Yeah, it is." That's like something that you have to get used to. Like that's an example. It's not just on your own team getting used to your teammates. You got to get used to, oh my gosh, my head has to be up all the time. I don't know. I can't imagine what Canada was like if you say it was more physical up there because
I think it's more controlled physical rather than like how like some other teams is chaos physical.
this is bodies
Y-
flying. I'm
Yeah,
going after
they're
you.
trying to hit
Yeah.
everything they see.
Yeah.
Instead of Canada, it's just like you're gonna bull like it's harder hits and everything like that. Like it's just more smart, strategic. Like down south hockey, like they call it the dirty south. Some people would call it. That's what some guys on my team would call it, and it's just physical chaos.
That's the only word that you can
Yeah.
describe, but it's fun. It's awesome.
How many players did get ejected in that game, that very physical game at Nebraska?
Well, there had to have been on our team. There had to have been like two or three people that got ejected. I'm trying to recall, but I think there was two or three guys that got ejected because it wasn't even just
So
that
someone face washed.
hitting back and forth. Yeah, like there was there was kind of a brawl. I was like, oh my goodness. And it happens a lot. Like tensions flare. Like I get it, that, and you love it because everyone out there is a competitor. Everyone wants to win, and at some point, it just turns into all right, skills out the door. I'm just going after you. And that's just and you, I would say, could be kind of the
Oh yeah,
instigator
I
on
got
that.
kicked out a lot this year. I
Oh
remember
my
one game. It
gosh.
was Mizzou. So we played like the game the day before we fought. But we won that game. I hit a guy and he got so mad and then just like jersey wrap like puts the jersey over my head. I couldn't see and I was just like swinging blindly. He was just punched me. Then our goalie got kicked out. I guess one of the players up in Mizzou like slashed him and like our goalie and one other D man were going at it and then like just a big brawl happened. So like we had a lot of players kicked
I
out.
remember that.
And then
Yeah.
the next game, just like I'm just like guys, it's time to lock in. You guys can beat this team. So yeah, it was just it's very interesting how you see two different dynamics depending on
Mhm.
what teams you play.
It
And
sounds
James
like the
knows
four.
a lot of St. Louis guys that play on Mizzou and
Yeah.
stuff. So
It sounds like it was the Four Nations game for a
Yeah,
minute
That's
there.
yeah.
that's what it was.